Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. With this, I, Ms. Dipali Avsekar, welcome you all to the session on reading comprehension strategy to tackle comprehension. In this video lecture series, you will learn about different kind of reading comprehension question along with tips and tricks to enhance your reading skills and comprehension abilities. Reading comprehension section can prove to be highly scoring if you approach it with the right strategy. So dear students, let's get started. What is reading comprehension? This is the basic question that comes to every student mind when they begin with this topic. So, reading comprehension is a way of understanding what is being read. In simple words, reading comprehension means a passage which is to be read and comprehended. What makes a comprehension passage a nightmare for students? It is the diverse range of topics that are covered, the vocabulary used in the passage, and the time limit given in the exam. So, to sum it up, reading comprehension is actually the ability to read text, process it, and understand its meaning. Followed by solving questions, it revolves around the main idea and the supporting details. Why is reading comprehension so important? Reading comprehension is important because it's one of the most important deciding factor in your job selection. From weightage point of view, this section covers 40 to 50% of major exam. So, this section is very important. It can make or break your career. It depends on the candidate's speed, individual personality, the type of learner, that is, the slow learner, medium learner, or fast learner. It also depends on the medium of schooling, that is, the medium of study. So, then, what does the reading comprehension test? Reading comprehension is mostly kept by the competitive examinations or the IT recruiters, or it is present in most of the recruitment tests. The reason is it tries to test a student on number of skills, including English, logical ability, language skills such as reading and vocabulary. Reading comprehension are generally based on variety of topics like covering science, business, philosophy, sociology, and so on. Such a vast breadth of topic means that one needs to read regularly and diversely in order to make sure that one is comfortable reading every kind of passage. So, when or rather through a reading comprehension, the recruiters or the competitive examinations are trying to understand your coverage of knowledge and how you grasp them. These passages are generally based on unique question, and some of the questions are of inferential nature. Therefore, they try to raise your reasoning and logical evaluation skills needed. And the most important thing is that they try to judge this or evaluate this within a given time frame. So, moving ahead to the reading comprehension. When we face reading comprehension in examinations or the recruitment test, these reading comprehensions can be classified into several categories according to the particular area of study to which they belong. For example, Classification of passages that the students may encounter during the recruitment tests are humanities, ecosystem, socio-political scenario, economy, ecology and environment, science and technology, international relations, and etc. It also can be from history, it can be from geography, it can be from the constitution, it can be from the political scenario of a particular country or the world. So, these diverse passages may be from any of these broader areas. Though these passages appear simple, yet they pose some tricky inferential questions. These passages can be accompanied by both direct and factual question. If you keep a track of current happenings of the world, you will be able to follow the author of the passage, which is very important. When we are trying to solve a given reading comprehension, so here, what is the perspective of the author? That is the most important thing, rather than your perspective, because the questions that relate to the passage are from the author's perspective. So you can try to read the editorials of the newspaper like Hindu, understand the structure and indirect conclusions that come from the passage. So this will help you to comprehend a reading comprehension passage in the exam easily, and the most important thing, in a short period of time. In short, practice is the key to become a master in all type of passages. Moving ahead, these passages that you or the students encounter for the recruitment tests are not only classified based on the content as we have seen in the previous slide, but also are based on the word limit. So these are categorized as type 1, type 2, type 3. So type 1 passages, the word limit is actually among or between 150 to 200 words, and generally the number of questions that are asked are 2 to 3. Type 2 passages consists of the word limit of 250 to 300 words with 3 to 4 questions being asked. And finally, type 3 passages come within the range of 400 to 500 but not restricted to 500. It can be above 500 also. And the number of questions that are asked are generally 5 to 6. So the students need to evaluate the time, the number of questions, and the length of the passage while attempting it, and try to speed up their previous questions and the questions they are expected to solve so that they can grab the maximum opportunity. Moving ahead now to the type of reading comprehension questions. Reading comprehensions are accompanied by a different, or a rather a number of different question types. Generally, we can classify the different question types into two broad categories. Big picture question, big picture question based on whole passage, and specific purpose question based on specific elements of the passage. These two categories along with the subcategories are discussed as follow. So, when you encounter the passage in the examination, it is not that you will have a specific type of questions, but there will be a combination of questions. So, what is this category? This category of questions, to begin with, the very fundamental is specific details. Here, the specific details means the facts, ideas, and data. Right now, I'm just giving you a glimpse of the category of questions. However, in the coming slides, we will see every questions in detail. The second category is inferences, that is implied idea, not directly mentioned in the passage. Here, what it means is, what does the author imply? What does the passage suggest? What does the passage imply? Here, the aspirants are expected to read in between the lines. The third category is contextual meaning of words and phrases. These are typically vocabulary based questions. Next category of question is from the central theme or the main idea. Here, the questions are related to the central message, essential message, thought of the author, and so on. Next category of question discusses about the attitude of the author, like introspective or critical or suggestion. So, what is the attitude of the author when he is writing the paper, or what are his feelings? To give an example, you can see here America better than India. So, there is an opinion about the author has an opinion, and if he has an opinion, that is the main idea, and there are supporting details to support the main idea. Open defecation, uh, is it over? Has the government been successful in implementing open defecation? Then examples are gender equality should not be a stunt, should be actually done. The next is Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So these are the topics or the recent hot topics, you can say, about which lot of discussions are happening, and obviously the author may have some attitude over it. The next category of questions is assumptions and arguments. So, when we say assumptions and arguments, means which author is taking to support his idea. That is he assuming something or is he having some arguments? The next category of question comes from the vocabulary based question. Here, the author may ask for the synonyms, the antonyms, the phrases. Okay, so this is just I gave you a gist of types of questions that the students can encounter. Now, moving ahead, we will see every question in detail. So, the first category, that is the main idea question. So, this relates to the central idea theme of the passage. Example of such questions are: which of the following most accurately states the main idea of the passage? Which of the following best states the central idea of the passage? The gist of the passage is dash. Next, which of the following is the principal topic of the passage? Summarize the passage in one line. So, whenever you encounter the questions based on main idea, in any of these five categories, the questions may appear on your screen. So these questions are ultimately trying to point to the central idea or theme of the passage that is being repeated. Okay, so the next category of question is primary purpose question. So when we say primary purpose question, this refers to the most important and emphasized point of the passage. So what is the most important and the emphasis point that the author is trying to point out in the passage? That is what the students are expected to find out. So, how is this question framed? The questions are framed like: the primary purpose of this passage is to, the primary focus of this passage is on which of the following. There will be options given. You have to select the correct one. Further, the main concern of the passage is to, 1, 2, 3, 4 options may be given. In the passage, the author is primarily interested in, or it may be the primarily focused on. The passage is chiefly concerned with. So, these may be some of the ways in which the question which targets the primary purpose question be asked. Here, the students are expected to just find out what is the most important point the author is trying to point out. Okay, so moving ahead now, the third type of question or category is the title question. By title, we mean the heading that would be the most suitable for the passage. Title should be built around the central idea of the passage. Example, here the author can ask: the most appropriate title for the passage is, options will be given. Select the most suitable title for the passage from the following. Okay, so this is the way you can select. Now how are you going to select? You are going to select on the